On third down, Vic. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Their boy down a touchdown already, but they're going to line up to go for it on their side of the field. They will indeed go for it. Vic, and it's complete. Hooper. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. The play began back at the 23, and they pick up 23.
Well, peel back the curtain, partner. We've got a pretty good look into how they plan to play this game. Aggressive seems to be the word. Going for it on fourth down in that situation.
Yeah, opening drive. Now, we know this coaching staff, they have traits of aggression in their history, but what a start to this game. They're going for it.
Yeah, a lot of people might say reckless, but they got it. 1 for 1 on fourth down here early in the game.
Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. I was waiting for them to get there first because the momentum they carry from last week, unbelievable. They had a snowman, 8 sacks.
You were surprised that it took this long, and this isn't that long, truthfully. But here's the thing. If you've seen that on tape, your offensive line is going to have to ask for help. Tight end has to stay in. If you use a fullback, keep him in. Make sure you have extra people to try and keep your quarterback upright. Didn't work on that play.
Third and long for Vic. This one complete to Devontae Freeman. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 30.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots in the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
Well, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
Vic now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA with a sack. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
57 to Mike. 57 to Mike.
Here's Vic. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. The Falcons going to use another timeout. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
The tackle made at the 44-yard line. A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the Falcons' 44-yard line.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Now Brooks to throw on 2nd down. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdowns. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Vic readies to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. They'll run. This is Kamara. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 10 yards, good for his Saints, first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
A first down run, not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9. The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Kamara. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. And still plenty of time remaining here in this 2nd quarter. And Lutz's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
At their own 25-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon.
54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The Falcons on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. On 3rd down, it's McSorley. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marcus Davenport drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long. On 4th down, Matt Hawk is on to punt. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Pulled in at the 24. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10.
Ready? 56. Mike's 56. Man, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball right here.
Running with Kamara. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Here's Brooks. From the gun, he'll throw. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field. Definitely
A lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
Let's go! Let's go!
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see.
57's Mike. Mike 57. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Throwing again, Vic on 2nd and 10. And finding the tight end Hooper. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a first down.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Now here's Vic. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Cameron Jordan in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spent.
And he's going to go down again. Cameron Jordan in there for a milestone sack. That's number 150 of his great career. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Another try after the first down sack. Vic, and the pressure gets to him again.
Now, that's the way to start the second half. Back-to-back sacks. Whatever the halftime speech was, I hope they recorded it.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. To throw, Vic. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. 23 yards on the play.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
Vic to throw it. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
They'll try again here from the 7 on second and goal. Here's McSorley to throw. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The crowd here in the Dome making things difficult. Third and goal. Working out of the gun, Michael Vick. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off down at the 2. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Well, that gives them a little room, but not much. A gain of 2 to the 5.
2 yards on the pickup. It's second and 8 at the 5-yard line.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Brooks now to throw on third down. He sets to fire deep. Picked off at the 48. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. Now Vick stripped. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now, meanwhile, the throw by Vick incomplete. It was knocked away. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Throwing is McSorley. Blitz coming, and down he goes. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on fourth. Throwing, Vick. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Marshawn Lattimore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the fourth. Again, it's Kamara. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
56. And we're pretty quiet.
On the ground, Kamara. Grady Jarrett with the tackle. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
The ball gets bumped up. It's now 2nd and 4 after the penalty. Now Brooks to throw. Operating from the gun. He's going to sling this deep down. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Well, interceptions have been a problem in this one. If he could have gotten his feet down here, it would have been another.
Would have been a huge one. They've had a great game taking the ball away. Thought they had another one, just unable to get those cleats in bounds.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. From the gun, Brooks. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
Touchdown, Falcons! A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown as his guys are back within a single score. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. This defense really clamping down. Although they're losing the game still, this second half has been theirs.
And they're winning it. I almost equate it to being a boxer. And whenever you see a good fight, the guy who is on his toes and doing the punching, that's the guy who's winning. And that's the way they're going at it defensively now. Much more aggressive in their calls, much more aggressive in their pursuit.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Looking to throw. Brooks. Open man is Michael Thomas. A good pickup there at 22. And probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this 4th quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. From From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
A man who's been busy this afternoon. It's Kamara again. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave him with still about 8 or 9 to go on third down.
Brings up 3rd and 10.
Let's go. Get the flag. Get 3 at the mic. You can't block me. You can't.
Brooks from the gun. He'll throw. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Their own 20-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time.
Well, he cannot get away. Down goes Vic. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. After the sack on 1st down, Vic dancing to his left. Now Vic stripped. He lost the football. The Saints say they have it, and they do.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
On the ground, this is Kamara. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They run it again with Kamara. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he's able to pick up the 1st down before he's tackled right at the 10.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. Trying to pound it in, Kamara. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. 2nd, 3rd guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
The play lost a yard.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today.
Will Lutz on for the field goal. A 27-yard attempt.
And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. The Saints in victory formation now as they'll take the knee.
A loss of a yard brings up 4th and goal.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. So this one a victory here for New Orleans. And it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So for the Saints, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season.